History is a clock that people use to tell their political and cultural time of day. It is also a compass that people use to find themselves on the map of human geography. History tells of people where they have been and what they have been, where they are and what they are. Most important, history tells a people where they still must go, what they still must be. The relationship of history to the people is the same as the relationship of a mother to her child.
As a professor emeritus at Hunter College in New York, he was known for his detailed lesson plans on African history. So much so that even the Schomburg Library in Harlem asked him for copies of his work. Despite having only an 8th grade education, Dr. Clarke learned all he could about African history and in the process created a career for himself. With 6 books, 59 short stories, and 17 book edits, Dr. Clarke provided African people with a wealth of knowledge of the greatness of Africa. A world-renowned lecturer, Dr. Clarke studied African history in every country of the rich continent except South Africa. He was a driven man because he was aware that the stories of greatness pertaining to African people had been excluded from the pages of history books. Dr. Clarke died at the age of 83, leaving a legacy for millions of African people to learn from. I am blessed to have come in contact with the works of Dr. Clarke, and I felt compelled to spread this information about a historical titan and a great soul. Thanks to Dr. Clarke, people around the globe now have greater access to African history. Born on January 1st, 1915 in Union Springs, Alabama to sharecroppers, Dr. John Henrick Clarke was always aware that the history of his people has been omitted from textbooks and the Bible. I saw no African people in the printed and illustrated Sunday school lesson, said Dr. Clarke, and it was that which started his journey towards gaining new knowledge. Dr. Clarke devoted his life to studying the history of his people, and during the process, he traveled all over the globe. During his journey, he began to see that the history of African people had been hidden, not only in America, but all over the world. Hidden in plain sight, Dr. Clarke learned that the history of man started with African people and decided to tell the world to help uplift his people. Dr. John Henrick Clarke, we proudly stand on your shoulders. For more information, make sure you visit my website at www.ontheshoulders1.com. There, you can support my On the Shoulders of Giants book series. You can also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/OTSOG. And you can hit the super like button under this video. I love you all, and make sure you catch the next video.